I am Supreme, and welcome back to Chosen Oracle Messages. This is message number 36 for the chosen. If you are chosen, you will know it because my messages will resonate with your soul. We are chosen because we are here to prove to the world that God, Spirit, energy, the universe is all real and it's all ours, and it is our responsibility to come back and save ourselves. No one is coming back to save us. We do not serve God over here. We learn how to walk on our own 2 feet. We're over here growing up because we know ain't nobody coming back but us. So it's time to take responsibility for our own energy, frequency, and vibration. All right, it's time for us to take the wheel. So if you got anybody else behind the wheel of your life, which is your vehicle, you need to remove them and you get behind the wheel. And this is what brought you to me, because these messages are going to come through to teach us how to walk on our own 2 feet. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I drop my Chosen Oracle messages. Also visit my other 2 channels, Astro Oracle Investigations and Circles of Life. I have both of those channels linked in the description below. Astro Oracle Investigations, you will see how I solve cold cases. That's right, I find missing men, women, and children. Okay, I crack cold cases and solve murders. You ought to go over there and see it for yourself. Watch how the ancestors work through me to solve these crimes. So like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button over there as well. And then Circles of Life is my astrological channel where I do astrological readings for every sign. Each reading that I upload is a timestamp reading for every sign. So you can go there and click on your sign, your rising sign, and get your accurate reading. Okay? So visit Astro Oracle Investigations and as Circles of Life. Both of those channels are linked in the description below, and support all 3 of my channels. Now, back to the Chosen Oracle messages. Y'all got to excuse my voice. For some reason, I'm losing my voice. All right, so let's talk about what's going to come out today. I don't know what's going to come out, but whatever's going to come out is going to be message number 36. So let's get to it. We got the judge. When the judge shows up, that's right, somebody's in judgment right now. And we're not talking about the person that's sitting on the throne in heaven. We're talking about somebody, a chosen vessel, okay, is up for judgment. Have you been who you say you are? Are you being who you say you are? Uh-oh, the third eye came out. The third eye and the judge. All right. As a chosen seed, you got to understand we represent judgment. We represent judgment by example because we represent what happens when you don't live right. We represent all of the consequences. That's what it's like when you're chosen, whether you like it or not, because you were chosen to show humanity the example of how a human ought to move through this life as a spiritual being having a human experience. So when you're chosen, you can't move like the world. However, we were born into a world that taught us how to move like everything but who we were chosen to be. As religion will say it, they done taught us how to be everything but a child of God. But now that we know that God is our own energy, we transmute that energy. We transmute everything we learned from religion in the church, in the mosques. We transmute that. So when they talk about God, we know what they're talking about because we understand it today. So we're not assholes. You know, when a Christian tells you something, oh, you know, God is good. We don't go around and say, well, you know, God ain't real and God, you know, assholes do that. We don't do that. We understand what they're talking about. But certain points, we do have to cut them off. When they start talking about, because Christ is coming back. Are you ready? Are you ready? Do you understand what that means? I know I'm coming back. I know I'm coming back for me. Are you coming back for you? Right. That's where we cut the conversations short. And we're not being assholes. We're being chosen. We're being what we were put here to be. Because we're also teaching people how to transmute that energy. People in the church, they're close to the divine. Whether they believe in a black Messiah, white Messiah, whether they believe that God is someone in heaven and the devil is someone in hell, whether they believe that the coming is going to be the cracking of the sky, overlook that. Look at the fact that these people in church have a divine heart to want to serve a higher power. Those are good people. Anybody that belongs to any religion are good people. They have a good heart. They just been lied to. And when you lie to somebody with a good heart, you make them give their good heart over to a lie. They're giving their all to these illusions and delusions. And all you got to do is clear up their illusions. They still have a good heart. Never think that people in church have bad hearts. They don't. You got to watch a lot of these spiritual people out here in these spiritual streets that know the truth, but they don't live by it. They don't treat people like they understand the truth. Why? Because these people are scarred. They are scarred. They know the truth, but they haven't healed from their scars. They're still out here trying to make everyone feel the way they feel. They're not religious. They're spiritual. They know the truth. Their third eye is open. They can see. That don't mean they're going to show you. Because, see, they're on a power trip. They got to make up for everybody that has ever made them feel less than. Whoever reminds them of their scar and how whatever that scar is. It could be a mental scar. It could be a physical scar. It could be an emotional scar. It could be a spiritual scar. Whoever reminds these people, and I call them wicked, because there are two types of witches. And when I say witches, I'm talking about spiritual practitioners. Those of us who understand the spiritual arts and crafts. Y'all got to really excuse my voice because I'm struggling. When I say witches, I'm talking about those of us who understand the spiritual arts and crafts of existence. That's what religion calls a witch. We all are witches. You have good ones and you have bad ones. Okay? I myself, I am a good one. I understand bad witches though. I don't follow them. Bad witches are scarred. That's why they always attribute the bad witch to the wart. She has that big old wart on her chin or wherever it is on her face. Because bad witches the wart represents the scar. The scar can be anywhere in your life. It doesn't always have to be physical. You have people that suffer from emotional scars of abandonment. You have people that suffer from traumatic scars, trauma. Things have happened to them, abuse, and it has left a scar within their heart and in their spirit. They have an intense hate for people because they haven't been able to heal from their trauma. So when these people, that doesn't stop them from waking up to the truth, and it doesn't stop their third eye from being open. The thing is, when they open up their third eye, they look at what they see as a way to get back. They say, aha, this is revenge, and now I'm going to get you, my little pretty, and your little dog too. So, that whole story of The Wiz is one of the best spiritual stories I've ever watched in my life. Go watch The Wiz and The Wizard of Oz with your spiritual eye. Watch that and then watch The Little Mermaid with your spiritual eye. You will see that movie from a totally different angle. It tells the greatest spiritual story of the water spirits and mommy water. That's what they call over there in Africa. You know, there's so many names for the water spirit, you know, but it just represents the womb, the women, and we all come from water, you know, but a lot of our spirituality has been demonized by the church, you know. So when their third eye is open, they ready to get the little pretty, you know, especially the pretty. The pretty represents the people who are spiritual, who have healed from their scars. They have insecurities too, but they don't allow their insecurities to control them like the wicked witch does. You have good witches and you have bad witches. And the reason why bad witches are always ugly is because they operate from the ugly angle of the spirit. They operate from their scar. They're mad at life and they're mad at people and they have not healed from that. So whatever power they come into or whatever power you give them, even if they're put in a position of authority, you got to watch them. These are the people that will abuse authority because they are not healed. You know, good witches and warlocks and wizards, such as myself, I am a good one. You know, I don't go around hurting people. I use my craft to protect myself. People come for me too, but nothing that they come with prospers because I know my shit. You know, I don't know who they are and I don't know what they're up to, but I always know how to make sure whatever you send my way, that shit will boomerang back 10 times because I am highly protected and I know how to protect myself. I am perfect when it comes to rituals of self-protection. Okay, I may skip some beats when it comes to trying to hurt people because I'm not scarred. I healed from my scars. I've forgiven. I let shit go. I understand nobody's perfect. Even the people that have wronged me, they're not perfect. They're human just like me. They're unhealed. They need to go heal. I do stay away from them, but I don't have anything against them because I don't allow resentments to rest in my spirit. No, because that's going to fuck my protection up. I don't allow hate to take up residence in my soul. I don't. I get mad. I get angry. I talk shit. I cuss people out. I do all of that. But I don't hold grudges. I will cuss you all the way the fuck out from the north, south, east, and the west, but I won't hold a grudge. You know, when it comes to physically, I know how to fight too. I'll fuck a nigga up in a heartbeat. I'll fuck not a woman. I don't like to hit women. I never hit a woman. You know, so I stay away from people that trigger me. You know, but every fight that I've ever gotten into, I never lost a fight. I fuck motherfuckers up when they come for me physically. Because one thing, just because we're good people don't make us punks. You know, but I fight for self-protection. I don't fight because I'm trying to hurt people. It's just when people come for me, I protect myself. Okay? I don't have a bitch bone in my body. Not one. Okay? But I love and I have a heart of gold, you know, and I understand I understand the human condition. I do. And I can't move like I don't. Because, see, then I fuck up my own energy like that. Because even the universe knows that I learned a lot. And I can't be out here acting like I haven't. So, the judge and the third eye. When your third eye is open, you will be judged. Okay? The universe is paying attention to how you move. Okay? You can't move like you don't know better. And you damn sure can't move like you can't see the truth. Or what the religion say, you can't move like you don't see God. I don't know what the fuck wrong with my voice. You know, I ain't been cussing nobody out. I know this pollen is out here, but I don't know. I'm going to pull some cards from the stars. And that came out. I'm pull some cards from the stars and see what came out. Air came out in the north. And it came out in reverse. Air came out in the northern hemisphere of your energy. So the northern hemisphere of your energy represents where you're going, your success. Okay, where you're on the yellow brick road, traveling to your goals, ambitions. Let me get your mind off of the Wizard of Oz, because this ain't no Wizard of Oz shit. I just use it as an example. But the northern hemisphere of your energy is where you are going in life. Just like the southern hemisphere represents where you come from, the northern hemisphere represents where you're going. Air represents communication and travels, and it came out in reverse. So this is somebody you're either not speaking like where you're going because you're so busy talking about where you come from. You got to start talking like where you're going because you're messing up the journey. And this could also mean that somebody's off track. You're not traveling in the right direction. Something, let's clarify that. Something is causing you to veer off course. I don't know if you're going on detours, but one thing about your journey towards your goals, whatever road you turn down, even if somebody jumps in your life and hijacks you for a couple of years and takes your mind off of your goals, because we all go through that. One thing about the GPS, when your mind is set, when your spirit is set and your ambitions are set, no matter where somebody takes you, the GPS will always update from where you are. How about that shit right there? And you know that from when you're driving on the road. This card came out too. Air came out upright in the West. Okay? Air came out. Now, the West represents your significant other. Okay? The West represents, the East represents you, the man in the mirror. The West represents your relationships. All right? You have air in the West. So your partner, you have a good partner in your life. You need to listen to them. I'm talking to somebody. If you're a man, you have a woman in your life that know what she's talking about. If you a woman, you got a man in your life that know what he's talking about. Listen to him. If you that woman, if you a man, you got a woman in your life that know what she's talking about. Listen to her. Okay? If you a man that got a man in his life as your relationships, listen to him. He know what he's talking about. We don't discriminate over here. You fuck whoever you want to fuck. Okay? Don't ever let nobody tell you where to put your dick at. Okay? And as women, don't ever let nobody tell you what to do with your pussy. As men, that's your dick. That's your pussy. That's your ass. Tell people to stay out your fucking pants. Okay? We don't discriminate over here. So, if you a woman and you are with another woman, listen to your woman because she know what she's talking about. Yeah, because we don't discriminate over here. All right. Elaborate more on this message because we got two people here. I feel like I'm talking to the one that you're a little bit off course. Like, you're on a detour right now. Okay? You on a detour. You have forgotten where you're going, and you're even talking like that. And I feel like you haven't forgotten where you're going. Your words is fucking you up. The way you think. Air represents the mind, the intellect. The way you think. You keep allowing past hurts to take your mind places that's veering you off course to where you're going. You got to focus on what you see. Your third eye, not what things look like. You got to focus on what it is because I feel like you know what it is. Your third eye is open and you're being judged because you see things that you act like you don't see. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. I'm pull one more card. Well, I'm pull two more cards. That's what's going on. We got fire in the South. Fire in the South that came out in reverse. Fire, now the South represents where you come from. Okay? You come from trauma. This fire is burnout. This ain't a good fire. This is burnout. Death. Ashes. Okay? You're supposed to be rising from the ashes. Okay? This fire that's been put out, it's spreading. Because fire and air, when air is put on fire, the fire spreads. This fire is burning you out and air is blowing. It's spreading that fire of your past. It's spreading. You dream about things that you shouldn't be dreaming about because you're so busy focused on your past. Okay? Your partner is the only good thing in your life right now. Listen to them. They're trying to keep your mind on course. Yeah, because that fire from your past, that trauma is spreading. I don't know what happened to you. You can tell me about it in the comments or you can email me about it. But something happened to you in your family. Okay, and it's time for you to let that go. Something happened in your family. Okay, and it done burnt you out. And matter of fact, you feel like you don't have life no more. You feel like somebody took your life from you. They probably took your innocence. You might have been molested. You might have been raped or you might have been abused. And you felt like they took your life from you. Okay? But you never gave up. Your body still kept going because you realize you still got to live because you ain't got the courage to take your life. You ain't got the courage to go commit suicide, and I'm glad you don't. But you can heal from that trauma. You need to listen to your spouse. Listen to your significant other, because I feel like you're with somebody who be telling you the truth. Look at that. Fire came out again in reverse. Now it came out in the northeast. Now, friends, group, okay. These two right here. Now, I feel like in your past, you was involved in some type of a gang. Okay? You even hung with the wrong crowd. Okay? You're the type of individual, I feel like you were blessed with your partner. You come from such a chaotic, traumatic background. Something done happened to you and you became gang related. Okay? Gang affiliated. All right? And it's fucking up the direction that you're trying. You got dreams. You want to go places in life. Okay? But you're not going to get there. What's stopping you from getting there is, see, the fire is spreading. Your past is stronger than your future. And you keep your mind focused on your past. You need to pay attention to your spouse. Your spouse is the only upright thing that came out. And I'm talking about what your spouse is talking about. Okay? Your spouse got a good head on their shoulders. A good head on their shoulders. And I'm talking to somebody, you need to listen to them. Because I feel like they're not telling you wrong. I feel like this person is fighting to be with you. Okay, because they don't want you to fuck you and them up. Okay, because they can easily see that you fuck a lot of shit up. But your spouse, them conversations, that pillow talk that you and your spouse be having, yeah, they be dropping jewels on you, and you need to pay attention to them jewels that they be dropping on you, okay? You come from a history of trauma, hanging around the wrong crowd, okay? The wrong people in life. You affiliated yourself with the wrong people. And also, you have a history of addiction, drug addiction. I just saw that. Alcoholism, drug addiction, heavy drug addiction. Okay? You and those people that you hang with, heavy drug addiction. Yeah, this fire is burnout. You're burnt out. Okay? And that's what's stopping you from moving towards your dreams, because you have dreams. You have dreams. And what's fucking your dreams up is your past. I'm talking to somebody, I feel like you got to stop smoking. You got to stop drinking because it's messing with you. You're smoking and you're drinking, it's messing with you. Y'all, hold on. I hate when my voice get like this. My voice don't ever get hoarse. But I know it's this pollen out here too. So now all of a sudden I get back on track with the chosen oracle messages, and now my voice want to start fucking up. So that's because them demons know I'm finna defeat a lot of shit, okay? There's some people that need to hear these messages, okay? So I feel like I'm talking to somebody. You need to start embarking on the journey of recovery, and you can do it. I did it myself. I am 18 years clean. My clean date is June 4th, 2008. That is the day I got locked up. That is the day that I got into a life-changing accident where the only thing that was left from that accident was my life. Everything else was completely totaled. Completely total. Everything was completely total but my life. And that showed me that all I have left is me. And that's all I had left to focus on. And I started focusing on me. And I did 4 years straight. Incarceration. Drug rehab. They put me back in school. I had to get my GED. All of that. 4 straight years. Those were the best 4 years of my life. But when I was there, I thought that was the worst 4 years of my life. Yep. The best 4 years of my life. As a matter of fact, I did it. I'm not going to tell you all the rest of my business, but just know those were the best 4 years of my life. Okay? I'm going to keep the focus on you. If I did it, you can do it. Okay? Because there's a blessing for you on the other side. The blessing represents you getting your energy together, cleaning up your energy. Clean up your energy because there's something waiting for you. But you have to be mature enough to be able to embrace the blessing. There's certain things that's not going to come into your life because you're not ready. You're not ready. You're going to fuck it up. There's lump sums of money that the universe is going to bless you with, but you're not ready. You still on that shit. And money in your hands is going to be a curse to your life right now. You need to get up off that shit, and you know what that shit is. Whatever that shit is, you know what it is. You need to come up off of that. You need to come up out of that life, out of that energy. Listen to your spouse. I feel like you got a good person. You don't want that shit to fuck that person up in your life. That's a good person that the universe blessed you with.